Yeah. So welcome, Shorav, to our channel, and as you know, this is a kind of educational purpose of our channel where we used to interact with students and my friends or juniors who have already been into work life or just getting into it. Like Shorav is someone who is getting into it, and today we will be talking about his journey towards Deloitte. So he has selected as a tax associate in Deloitte, and Shorav is a student of IBA batch 2022. And over to you, Shorav.
Thank you so much, and thank you so much for getting me in. Okay, so before I start with my journey, I would like to start with a brief introduction. So I'm from Panagar, West Bengal. I have done my schooling from Hemshila Model School, Durgapur. Okay, so after completing my plus two in commerce from Hemshila, I went to Durgapur Government College to pursue my undergrad in BCom, that is BCom honors. After my BCom, I decided to do my PGDM. So because I had a keen interest in finance, I took up finance and marketing as my specialization. And then after completing my PGDM, I was fortunate enough to get placed at Deloitte. So yeah,
Yeah,
it was a dream. It's still a dream. It's so for me. It's still that I'm living my dream. Yeah.
yeah.
So
That's really good. So I think we can start. Have you done something like prepared for any entrance exams of MBA?
yeah, so I was preparing for MAT actually.
Okay.
So like before getting into IBA, as they
Mm-hmm.
accept the MAT scores.
Mm-hmm.
So I prepared for MAT. I think for a month or month and a half, I prepared for MAT. I
Right.
gave it,
Yeah.
and then
Mm.
I was fortunate enough to
Yeah.
get a call from IBA.
Right. So can you share some material so that everyone can get help out of it? Like what you have used to read and from where that 1 or 2 months that you have read format.
Yeah, sure. So actually, I did not take up any coaching, right? I did not,
Okay.
yeah, okay. I did not enroll myself for any coaching classes for MAT. I just
Mm-hmm.
visited the websites. I think India Bix is a great website. You can go to that. There
Yep.
is like a plethora of stuff is over there.
Yeah, I
Okay,
recommend
for
it too.
reasoning. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that's a great website. And then I had some books. Okay, on
Okay.
reasoning for quant. I had some books,
Have
and I
you
think
used
they're
Arun
they're very
Sharma
nice.
anyhow?
No, not I have not used Arun Sharma. So
Okay.
I had a book known as I think it was written Quicker Maths. There was a book.
Okay. Okay.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so that book was of great help for me.
Okay.
Okay, because it had all those quick methods to solve the problems, right?
Uh,
So that was great.
yeah.
And then yeah,
So let's get into the main part what we want to discuss. Okay. So
right, right.
the can you just tell us the criteria to apply in Deloitte? So who can, if there is any criteria? Le-
Yeah, so there are some simple criteria that firstly your UG background should be of BCom or BBA, right?
Okay.
So you should have done BCom and or BBA in your undergrads, and
Mm-hmm.
then in your MBA or your PGDM, you should have finance as your major specialization, or if you're having dual specialization, then finance should be one of them, right?
Okay.
And the third criteria is in your PGDM,
Mm-hmm.
you should have 60%. Okay, 60% in the first year, because when we were in the first year, so we had completed 3 trimesters, and after that Deloitte came to our campus.
Yeah.
So you should have a CGPA equivalent to 60%, or if it is percentage system, then you should have 60% in your first year.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, that's the
So,
criteria.
what is the process in Deloitte? What are the rounds you have faced? Just tell us that, then I will get into more details. What are the
Yeah,
rounds? Yeah.
sure. So we had 3 rounds basically. So
Mm-hmm.
firstly, we had the Versant round. Okay. Then we had the Co-Cubes round, which is also known as the Aptitude test for Deloitte,
Okay.
and then we had the interview, right? 3 rounds of interview we had
Okay.
for Deloitte, right? Yeah,
So let's get into more deeper into this.
yeah,
So
sure.
how you have prepared for Versant, and tell us more about what has in the version that very few people just get passed out of it, like how you have managed to get pass into that, and what are the materials you have used, or what are the mindset one should have uh, before appearing Versant.
Sure. So, okay, everyone believe that Versant is very tough to crack, and it is a very dicey round. So that is the perception of many people. But I would say that it is tricky, but it is one of the most practical rounds you can have in Deloitte, because if you're prepared enough and if you're well prepared, then you can clear Versant, right? And it is one of the most important rounds that you will have to face in the whole interview process of Deloitte,
Hmm.
right?
Okay.
Now for Versant, we had 5 rounds. Okay, so there is reading, there is repeating, there are jumble words. Okay, then you have, and there is story retelling. Okay,
Okay.
and there is one. Then you in the last round, they would just give you a topic. It's kind of jam. Okay, you have to speak for not even a minute, for around 40 seconds. You will be given a
Okay.
topic, and you have to tell something on the topic, right?
Okay.
Now all these for all these 5 rounds, what you have to do is, let's start from the reading round. Okay, so in the
Okay.
reading you
Yeah.
will be given, okay, 5 sentences. Okay,
Hmm.
5 or 10 sentences that you have to read out,
Okay.
right? Okay, you have to read it out. You have to be very clear, you have to be slow, you can, and you have to be you cannot tell it in a very fast pace. Okay, it should be clear, it should be loud. Okay.
And pronunciation should
And
be
pronunciation should
yeah.
also be very clear, like you should not copy some accent, you should not try
Mhm.
to fake your accent. Okay,
Okay. Yeah.
right. That's the thing. And then comes the repeat round. Okay, so from the computer itself, because it is a software generated, it's a platform
Mm-hmm.
generated thing.
Yeah, correct.
So they will so from the they will tell some lines. Okay, you have to repeat it. Now that will happen in different accents, like they can tell in American accent, Australian accent, different accents.
Right.
What you have to do is, you have to repeat it in your own accent,
Accent.
in your
Yeah.
own way, very clearly. Okay, very
Mm.
prominently, right?
Okay.
That's the
Yeah.
thing. Okay, that's about repeating. Coming to jumble words, so they will break the total sentence into 3 parts, and they
Mm-hmm.
will jumble it up, right? So let's say,
Okay.
for example, I want to drink water, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they will say, drink water, I too, or
Oh,
I
okay.
want to, right?
Mm-hmm.
I to drink water. So they
Mm-hmm.
will jumble it up, and you just have to,
Finish the
put
sentence.
it
Yeah.
in, yeah, just to,
Yeah.
okay, put it into correct sentence and repeat it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's about the jumble part. There is also one round which I forgot to mention. That is, they will just ask you a thing, and you have to give the correct answer of it. And that's really simple. Okay, let's say for example, the computer says, I'm thirsty. So the
Mm-hmm.
options are, should I drink water or go to a doctor? So it's as
Okay.
easy. It's
Okay.
that's easy,
That's.
right? So you will say drink water.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that's done.
So,
So
yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Carry on. Carry on.
Yeah, so
Anything else?
after this round you will have they will tell a story. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now after that, when they will tell a story, they will ask you to repeat it. Now you don't have to repeat the entire story exactly how they narrated. Okay, you have to tell it in your words, but you have to make sure that the key words or the key elements of the story are present.
Okay.
The story may have some characters, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
Jack and Jill,
Mm-hmm.
Harry and Jill, and something like that. So
Okay.
it can have some key characters. You just have to make sure that when you are retelling the story, those key characters or some key places or events that are mentioned in the story,
You
that
have to
are
mention
present
as
in
well.
your version, as
Yeah.
yeah, then
Yeah.
your version as well.
Right. Correct.
And lastly, the jam kind of thing, they will give you a topic, and you just have to tell something on it. And it doesn't matter what you are saying, you just have to be fluent, you just have to be spontaneous, you just have to speak it for 30-40 seconds. That's
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
So, how have you practiced anything that you have practiced, or it's just like happened?
No, no, no. So to be very honest, I had practiced a lot. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
because I had known from my acquaintances, from my friends and
Mm-hmm.
seniors, that Versant, as I said, is very important.
Yep.
You cannot take any risk. Okay, you cannot
Hmm.
leave any stones unturned when it comes to the process. Like for the entire process of Deloitte, I'm saying not only about
Yep.
Versant,
Yep.
but when you are chasing your dream and working on your dream, you cannot leave any stone unturned. So I had practiced a lot.
Yeah.
What I had done for my processes, I would say, uh, I had downloaded some apps like text to speech, right?
Right. Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
right.
Anyone can
Google
use
text
that.
to speech. Yeah, yeah,
Right.
anyone can do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Okay. How it helps is you can read those sentences and check whether the sentences are getting converted into text as the way you are saying it,
Saying it.
right?
Correct. Yeah.
It might happen that you say something but it
Hmm.
gets translated into something else
Yep.
when it gets converted to the text part, right?
Yeah.
So you
Correct.
have to be very particular about it.
Hmm.
Okay, because sometimes we feel that we have said correctly.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Okay, but there are certain gaps or there
Yep.
are certain
Yeah.
words between which sometimes the things are like it is not considered or not taken by the computer. Might
Correct.
happen,
Yep.
right?
Yep. Quite.
Yeah, so that creates a problem, right? So I had downloaded that.
Hmm.
Then I have practiced like from YouTube links. Okay, there are a lot of ample amount of videos on Versant you can get from YouTube.
Hmm.
Okay, so from there I had practiced that repeat part of it. I found that to be a bit tricky because sometimes you don't understand the accent and you don't understand what they are saying. Okay,
Yeah. Correct.
so you have to practice it a lot to understand that what is the word in their accent. It might be
Hmm.
that you know the word, but
Yeah.
in that at that point of time it might be that you are a bit nervous, you are a bit
Yeah,
apprehensive and
yeah, and
anxious.
everyone is bit
Yeah,
nervous in interview rounds,
yeah,
and yep, correct. That's very
exactly.
true.
Yeah, so
Can you tell me a
uh,
bit role about what you are wearing right now? This mic. Yeah.
okay, so this actually I got from Deloitte, okay, recently.
Okay.
Okay,
So have you used that during the Versant or not?
during the Versant also I had used a similar kind of headphone only.
Yeah.
Okay, because I was because the thing is you have to use a earphone which has noise cancellation. That would be very good. Okay,
Yeah.
so and one which has a mic,
Yep.
so that your pronunciations, your words, whatever you are saying,
Mm-hmm.
that gets conveyed very clearly. Your pronunciations are very clear. Okay,
Yeah.
so there is no noise glitch or there is no sound problems, noise problems
Mm-hmm.
during your Versant test. Yeah,
Yeah. That's really helpful. So coming to our
exactly.
next part, CV writing. So, uh,
uh,
how you have developed a great CV that you have currently, and just tell us a bit more what happened with your first CV and what you have now. How much difference is that, and how to write a good CV, and what are the softwares or website you used while writing CV. So just put some light on it.
yeah, sure. uh, so talking about my first CV, it was very naive. Okay, it was kind of I won't say it was good at all. It was very naive. It was very childish kind of thing because I'd like that was made just for the sake of making a CV, just to put in the
Mm,
details and all that stuff. But when I prepared the CV for Deloitte, it was a lot more focused on the important aspects. I had to think what I should put into it. Okay, what I should
mhm.
exclude, what I should include, and how to structure my CV. That's very
Yeah,
important.
can you just
Yeah,
bit go deeper and tell us bit more what you one should omit and what one should add in a CV, good CV?
yeah, so it depends on the type of job you are applying for,
Yeah,
right?
you
So
can
like
just
since
give
Deloitte,
your own example, like how you have
yeah,
structured
like
your
I
CV.
was
Mm.
sure. So like since I was applying for a finance job,
Mhm.
so I had put all the details, my achievements and all my exams related to finance. Okay, I had omitted the things related to marketing. Like if I had gone to some fest, if I had won some
Mhm.
fest, okay, in my college we had numerous fests and I had
Right.
participated in many of
Okay.
them, right?
Yep.
Some of them were in finance, some of them in marketing, okay.
Okay.
So I had removed those marketing fests. I had
Mhm.
made it I had made the CV solely based on my finance achievements. Okay, like
Okay.
if I won the finance fests, I have won the mock fests, so I had mentioned that. I had my MR report, okay, the marketing research report which I
Mm-hmm.
had done in my college, that was on finance. Okay, I had mentioned that.
Okay.
Okay, uh, so all these kind of things, and so you have to structure it in such a way that all your achievements, all your what you are capable of, that should get reflected on your CV, right? And it should be very true. You cannot exaggerate your CV. Like if you have not done something,
Hmm.
don't put it. If you're not confident about something, don't put it, right? If you have done Excel, you have done the basic, you know, the basics of Excel, put that. I know the basics of Excel. If you have done certificate course, put it. But at the same time, be confident about what you're putting. Know that, understand that when, if you clear all the rounds and if you're facing the interview, then you will be asked questions from your CV, right?
That right.
So
Yeah.
don't fake it, firstly. Secondly, whatever you are, whatever you have put over there, be confident about that. Okay, so that if you are asked anything about it, you are able to say
Hmm.
that,
Yeah.
right?
Correct.
So that's how I had prepared my CV, like and my fests, my
Hmm.
achievements, whether it be UG or my PG and post
Okay.
graduation.
Yeah.
Okay, my achievements, extracurricular activities, right? Some
Yeah.
projects and all these things which I had put, solely focusing on the finance part of it.
Okay. So, how have you prepared for the interview questions that you have faced? You said there are three rounds of interviews, right?
Right,
Yeah.
right, right.
Just tell me a bit about what are the three rounds, like HR rounds or finance round, how you have
Okay,
faced it, and what are the questions they have asked, and how you have you advise your juniors to prepare for those rounds.
sure.
Yeah.
So we had three rounds, namely the HR round, technical round, and the business round. Or that is a kind of, you can also say, a bit of stress round, because they try to judge you, or they try to evaluate that whether you can tackle the questions which they are giving, whether you are able
Okay.
to answer them properly or
Hmm.
not. How are you able to tackle the stress or handle pressure, right?
Right.
That round is basically for that purpose, right?
Yeah.
For the HR round, I was asked, very basic questions, which are, very obvious questions for HR round, like tell me something about yourself. Okay,
Okay, I
why do you
will
want to?
stop you there
Yeah.
because
Okay.
this is very important question. Tell me about yourself.
Yeah.
So, can you just give us an example what one should, because before the interviewer they had your CV in front of them, right?
Right.
So
Right.
what
Right.
one should put in tell me about yourself, so that it does not seems like bit obvious that already in CV, but still you are conveying all your achievements and everything, and what are the skill sets you have, but still how you looking forward to answer this kind of question.
Yeah. So, tell me something about yourself is a very important as well as very cliche thing, right? Because
Right, correct.
the answers are very cliche, because everyone will tell the same thing here and there. And
Mm-hmm.
but that is also the make or break, because that creates your first impression in front of the interviewer. That's the first question the interviewer asks. Okay.
Yep, correct.
So firstly, obviously, you have to start by introducing yourself. So for example, my name is Saurav Banerjee and I'm from Panagar, West Bengal. You say that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you start telling about your academic experience. Okay.
Yep.
uh, you have done this, like you are pursuing PGDM. Now
Mm-hmm.
in PGDM, if you have something which needs to be noted by the interviewer. For example, I said that, okay, I had a good CGPA, right? So I
Mm-hmm.
had mentioned about that, and I'm pursuing PGDM and finance and marketing, and just I have received my first year results, and it is 8.35 and something like that, which can be highlighted. Okay, so that
Okay.
the interviewer understands, okay, the guy is sharp, right? That
Right.
person is good in
Yeah.
academics.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, again, then go to your grads. And okay, if
Yeah.
your grades are good, you may mention, or you may not mention that.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
Correct. Correct. Correct.
Go back to your school. Okay, so tell it till 12th. Okay, don't go to 10th and all.
Mm-hmm.
So PG, UG, and 12th. Okay,
Right.
after that, come to your if you have attended fests and all,
Mm-hmm.
what do you like if you have hobby. So don't say bluntly that my hobby is this. Okay,
Yeah.
you may say that apart from my academics, okay, when I am not studying or when I am not into my academics, I love exploring new places. I love
Yeah.
to read books, and
Hmm.
like to write blogs. So
Yeah.
as I love to, like, I write blogs. Okay, so I mentioned that so when I'm not into my academics, when I'm not into my academic curriculum or
Hmm.
stuff, I love to write blogs in my free time based on related to finance and
Yeah.
markets and investments, right? So that way you kind of tell something about yourself which is not there in your CV. You stand out from others. You tell a bit more about yourself, which also interests the recruiter to know you better,
Yep.
to understand. He also gets a bit cheered up to hear something like that. Okay,
Correct.
so that
Yeah.
way you should answer the question. Yeah,
Yeah. So coming back again, after tell me about yourself, what are the other questions you have faced? Yep.
yeah.
In the HR.
So again, the other questions which I faced is like, why do you want to join Deloitte, right?
Hmm.
So that is one question, and then why have you taken? Why did you took up PGDM? Okay, you could have done something else also in
Correct.
finance,
Hmm.
right? Where do you see yourself after 5 years? Okay, then like, the work pressure of Deloitte. Like, what if we make you work for 16 hours
Yeah.
a day for
Hmm.
2-3 months? How would you handle that?
Yeah.
So these kind of questions I was asked.
And
So
like,
yeah,
how have you prepared for all this? Have you faced any mock interview, or like, uh, in 2 3 friends, have you make some groups and like continuously practicing all interview questions or anything like that, that have helped you a lot in your interview round? And yeah.
yeah. So I had practiced the mock interviews actually.
Hmm.
I like one of my friends, very close friends. He's also into Deloitte. So I just asked him, what questions I should prepare,
Hmm.
and how should I prepare the mock like, prepare for interview. So he took my mock interviews, a few mock
Okay.
interviews.
Yeah.
So that kind of gave me the confidence how to answer the questions, how to prepare for such questions. Like, if questions are very obvious, how to give some different answer for obvious questions. That's very important
Yeah,
when you are
sometimes
facing
what
the HR.
happen, for obvious question you have to give obvious answers, but still we
Right,
lag
in a
because we
different way.
think
Yeah,
that, yeah, it's very easy, we can say that in that moment, why we need to prepare.
exactly.
But people
Right,
suck on that. Right. Correct. Correct. Very
right,
true.
right. So that's the
So
thing.
what is the second round of interview, and what are the questions you have faced?
Okay, so second round was technical round, and
Hmm.
I think the questions which were asked to me were very simple, right? And in technical round also, they generally ask very simple questions which are related to accounts of 11 and 12, right? If you have
Hmm.
done your 11, 12, your basics are correct. If your basics are strong, you will ace it. Okay, you will ace this round. Okay,
Okay.
so
Hmm.
make sure that your basics are very strong. Like, it's very polished. Okay, you should not forget the golden rules of accounting. It's that
Yeah.
like,
Correct.
if you yeah, if I want to put it in a very straight way, so you cannot forget the golden rules of accounting. You cannot forget that uh, what is ratio analysis. So I was asked, what is ratio analysis, what is the difference between accounting and auditing. So these kind of questions are asked in the interview. So very basic. Okay, very naive questions where you have to be very prompt. Okay, you have to give prompt reply to
Hmm.
them. If you don't know, by any chance you don't know the answer, just tell that, sir, I am not able to recollect the answer right now, but I'll surely get back to you one after checking it. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I'm really, so yeah, so you just tell that. Okay, it may
Okay.
happen that out of 10 or 15 questions you are asked, you may not know one or two questions. That's
Yeah.
very obvious.
And that's
Okay,
completely fine, and
completely
it's
fine. Yeah,
completely correct that you can just say that I will get back to it
yeah,
when.
yeah, yeah. you
Correct.
you you can say openly that, sir, at this moment I'm not able to recollect. I'll get back to you after checking it, or seeing it.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
for the students who have not like very clear about 11 12, or still they don't even remember, but
yeah,
these are not the so much huge thing that they can't cover in the month or two, or maybe in 15 days also, like as they have already done, right? So in 15 days
Yeah.
also they can cover. But can you suggest some resources or thing that they should download or visit some website so that they can have a like bit 80% of the correction in that sense, so that they can recall some stuffs that okay, let's have all this stuffs I should read and like practice anything that you have done or.
Sure. So if someone is not acquainted with the basics of finance, okay. Now, two things. I think first thing, now since Deloitte, puts that criteria that you have to have BCom or BBA as
Mm-hmm.
your UG
Right,
background.
right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So assuming the fact that you have little knowledge of accounts
Mm-hmm.
and finance, right?
Yeah.
Because we have studied, you might have studied that in your BBA, in your BCom, right?
Right.
Now,
Correct.
if you have
Correct.
forgotten things, you can always go to the net. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
uh, there are ample amount of stuff present in the net, over the net. There is no particular website I can say.
Yeah.
Okay, but if you search by the name, like if I search golden rules of accounting,
Mm-hmm.
if I search what is ratio analysis, right,
Yeah.
I'll get a
Right.
plethora of
Right.
content over
Mm-hmm.
the net, right?
Right. Correct.
Okay. Then you can have books. There is, I think, there is a very good book of DK Goel, okay,
Mm-hmm.
which we used to study in
Okay.
our 11 and 12,
Yep.
so which clearly sets out the like the basics of accounts,
Yeah.
the basics of finance. Okay, be it ratio analysis, be it account, what is accounting, what is bookkeeping, what is ledger, okay, what is
Yeah.
a journal, everything.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
so
basically,
if
few overview of the class 11 books can
11,
do
12
well.
is
Yeah.
enough.
Quite
Yeah,
well.
yeah, yeah. Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So,
Yeah.
what is the third round that you have faced, and what are the
Oh, so
questions
that's,
there?
yeah, that's interesting round. And so I was not asked about any technical question, but I was
Okay.
told about Deloitte. Okay, how things happen at Deloitte,
Mm-hmm.
how work happens at Deloitte, right? I was very brief summary of that I was given, and then I was asked that, okay, like, have you been into any instance or into any experience where
Mm-hmm.
you have helped your team members or teammates? Because ultimately when you get into corporate, it's about teamwork.
Teams.
Okay.
Right. Correct.
Right, right. So you have to work in a team, it's never
Yep.
an individual task, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you have to be a team leader or like a team player, I'm sorry.
Yep.
So when you get into it, so have you faced any event, any circumstance, or any a situation where you have helped your team member, right, where you have been a team player? Okay, you will be asked a situational questions. Okay.
Okay. Yep.
Then they might ask you that, do you know anything about the US taxation?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If you know, it's fine. If you don't know, it's fine. If you know, you can tell. Okay. If you know, then that person can dig a bit deeper into it, that, okay, do you know about this or this thing? Do you have any question? Like, this is a very important, very small thing, but very
Mm-hmm.
important, because at the end of round they would ask you that, do you want to ask any question?
Correct.
Make
Correct.
sure to ask a question, and a sensible one, right?
Okay.
Okay. You cannot ask that, okay, like, if you can ask the person about that person's journey, or if you have
Mm-hmm.
read something about the US taxation. So I had read something about the US taxation. Okay. So I had asked a question related to that. Okay. So you can do that. So this shows that you have done some homework. Okay. You
Okay.
are serious about the job. Okay, you are
Mm-hmm.
serious about the process, right? So you have some knowledge at least.
Yep.
Okay. So that gives a good impression of that. So I think last round is about, basically about situational hypothetical questions. And
Mm-hmm.
they try to evaluate that, how have you faced situations, just to get a view, just to get a perception that how you can face such situations when you are into Deloitte, right? So
Right.
that's
Yeah.
about the last round. Yeah.
So, anything about Excel or Microsoft Office, anything related to that that you have asked, uh, like
uh,
suppose,
I wasn't, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I wasn't asked about Excel or words. So there are two things. Like, if you're giving the Versant,
Mm-hmm.
And by any chance, if you are not able to clear the Excel round, like, sorry, not the Versant, the Aptitude, the co-cubes.
Mm-hmm.
So if you, by any chance, if you are not if you are not able to clear the Excel round, so we have three rounds, like, so accounts, reasoning, and Excel.
Okay. Yeah.
So if you are not able to clear, you get another chance to clear the Excel round. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then you clear, you get, go to the interview. That time they might ask about Excel. They will, they will ask you about Excel, I think, the basics of Excel again. So they might ask about what is if, what if wise if statement used, what is nested if, okay, date function, okay, v lookup, h lookup, all these kind of things. So the basics of Excel, you need to be clear about it. Okay, count if and all those stuff. Okay, some shortcuts of Excel. Okay, you can, go to the net, you can download all the shortcuts. I would say that, make a list of all the shortcuts, uh, make a PDF copy of Word doc of it, and just keep it handy with you. Okay, so that every time, here and there, wherever you go somewhere, like, so wherever you go, you just can have a glance at the
Mm-hmm.
shortcuts.
Correct.
Okay. So you can do that. So that's very important.
So, how have you prepared for the quant or apti round that you have faced just after
Okay,
the
yeah.
Versant? Yeah.
Yeah, so again, India Bix,
Mm-hmm.
the great website that we all have. I think, for quant, we don't have quant. We have, I think, reasoning and accounts. So for accounts also, I had, visited multiple websites. So I had a list of around 100 to 200 questions, and, from there only I had practiced. So I had made a list of all those questions. Okay, you can go to YouTube. There is a good channel known as the Aptitude guy. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so there also, he has, the person or the channel has mentioned a lot of topics from where you can prepare, right?
Okay.
So you can prepare from there.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have, so for the reasoning part of it, again, you can go to India Bix, you can choose the topics, and you can practice from there. I think I have also done from that. I had given one or two mocks, just to, test my
Mm.
speed, and my accuracy. So I think that's enough. If you have a good 1 month of preparation of, Versant and co-cubes round, you are good to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's really good. Thanks, Saurav. So bring back all your journey into a small piece of time, and that's really good that you have agreed to be with us. And hope that helps many of the students who will be applying in Deloitte in future years and these years also.
Yeah.
And thank you again. Yeah.
The pleasure is completely mine. Thank you so much, for bringing me here and giving me this opportunity to speak upon my journey and Deloitte. So thank you so much, and I wish all the very best to all the aspirants. I think you all will ace it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Let's bye.
Bye bye.